Hello, listeners. This is Trina Jaye with Writer's Cramp of the My Pajamas Show. For those of you who are out there listening, please feel free to call in. Our call-in number is 347-945-5519. And if you want any questions answered by the authors that we are interviewing today, please feel free to call in. Our next author, who I'm going to present to you, his name is Bazhe. Bazhe is an author, poet, and artist. He has published poems and short stories in former Yugoslavia and in the United States. As an artist, he has had his artwork exhibited in New York City, Europe, New Jersey, and Ohio. His book of poetry is called Identities, and today we will be discussing his memoir, Damages. And Damages is a true story of Bazhe's fight to overcome the psychological wounds created by his upbringing. So without no further ado, I would like to present to you Bazhe. Bazhe, are you there?
Yes, hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me to this program.
You are so very welcome. And before we begin, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, Bazhe.
Okay, Bazhe. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you to the first segment of Writer's Cramp. Today is our first segment for Writer's Cramp for In My Pajamas Show. So you are my second author that I am interviewing.
Oh, thank you.
And, you are welcome. So with your book, Damages, why did you write the book, Damages, and choose the title?
Well, first of all, when I came to the United States, I didn't speak American English, and I had to learn on my own. So after my mother's death from the long fight against the colon cancer, I decided to write the experience of growing up in former Yugoslavia and coming to the United States and appreciate the freedom here, and also to get rid of all the problems that I experienced as a young adult and a child, which I believe is the only way to do it, by confronting it and writing about it. And
exactly.
Out of that whole experience came out a very nice book that is very well received now.
Okay. And was it hard for you to write this book?
Yes, of course. I always say to face your challenges and your denials and your truths in yourself is the hardest thing. But I also think that facing it and especially putting it down on paper is extremely healthy and very good to move on, because we all have problems in different kind, and if we don't face them or confront them, we will carry them with us and we will be conflicted later on. But once you face it or write it or in any form of art express it, is extremely healthy.
Yeah, I agree. I think, the first step to facing any problems or any challenges is a step towards healing, because you have to confront it, and because I guess if you don't, in the beginning, eventually you will somewhere down the road. So I think that's a very important step.
Yes, or not. Some people carry them to the rest of their life, and they're conflicted.
Exactly.
And they're negative. First of all, negative within themselves and others, and that's very, very bad. But some people have more courage and some less, and sometimes you need outside help to do it, whether it's expressing through art or business even or whatever. And
exactly.
It's very, very, very healthy. And also, I wrote it because I have to mention, when you write in American English as a first book, you write something that you know, something that comes very naturally and comes within your familiar area. And since I'm expertise of my life, of course, it was much easier to write it in that sense. And the story was so crazy and insane, and actually crazy and very, very different, that I said, well, I have a story now. All I have to do is write it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. I know with our previous author, she had encountered and experienced child abuse at a young age. How old were you? I read in your book when you had an encounter with your father, because you do mention him as an abuser. How old were you when it began?
6.
Wow, at 6.
Very young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very young, and it was a very, very bad experience, of course. And I believe that many are abused, but they don't tell. And it's hard to tell, and also it's hard to sometimes face it within yourself.
Exactly.
I wish there are people in the educational institution who would help others to cope with this problem. For example, recently with the church abuse and stuff, and it's very, very bad. But the good thing is that if you face it and talk about it, it's much easier to cope with it.
So how old would you say parents should begin talking freely about sex with their children? Because, sex abuse is occurring, from ages 3, 4, and 5. So in your opinion, what do you think the age limit should be when parents freely start discussing things with that topic?
Well, I don't know. Some people think that they should talk right away, but some others, even people who are experts on this area, to say that they should discuss a little later. I don't know. I think it depends on the circumstances and the family situation and the education. But I think it's very important to. Personally, I think it's very important to say it as fast as you can.
Okay.
Yeah, and because faster you face it, the healing starts.
Exactly.
Sooner it starts, and the consequences are less. I believe. Although I'm not an expert, but I wish someone talked about it early in my upbringing, but nobody did. Of course, they all hide it, they all denied it, and I had to do all the work.
Right. I can understand.
But I can laugh now and smile about it. Why? Because I overcome it, and that's the most important thing, to overcome what happened to you. Whether you abused, not abused, or whatever happened to you in the childhood, it's very important to face it. I even said to my number of my friends who had problems in their childhood that they should really go back to their parents, even they're very old, to just tell them that they know. And not worry about their reactions at all. Because, and they said to me, "Oh, that's selfish." No, I said, it's not selfish. That's healthy. I said, the selfish is, I said, their parents being in denial about it. That's selfish, I think.
Right. And I must say, Bazhe, I have enjoyed this interview with you. Thank you for calling in and giving us the opportunity to interview you on your book, Damages. And I have enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and all the best to all of you and to your listeners as well.
You are welcome. And if anyone is interested in getting your book, will they just go to your website, which is www.bazhe.com, B-A-Z-H-E?
Yes, B-A-Z-H-E.
Okay.
BAZHE.com, or they can go to Amazon, because on Amazon it's always on sale. Just type BAZHE. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. I have enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Me too. Have a great day.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.